Hello my friends, I hope your day is going well. I am dressed for St. Patrick's Day today, that's when I'm shooting this, and this is just going to be kind of a casual, easy get ready with me. I've got a number of newish things that I'm going to be experimenting with, so I thought you might like to come along for the ride. So I'm going to start things out with a primer that I've actually been playing with quite a bit lately, not necessarily on camera, but it's the NYX Plump Right Back with Electrolytes primer. I have the setting spray as well, and I'm just kind of trying to get a feel for how good this is. I feel like it definitely adds an added surge of moisture to my skin when I put it on. It feels a little bit tacky right after I apply, so it might be trying to be like some of those gripping primers, I'm not sure. But all I come away feeling for sure is that I'm extra hydrated when I put some of this on. They say skin instantly feels and looks plump, but I'm not, I don't know, I guess. Sitting here thinking, is it more plump? I don't know. I would just say it looks for sure more hydrated, and it feels more hydrated too. I've got a foundation that I want to experiment with. I've tried this a couple times, and we're going to really analyze here in this video. The new Makeup Forever HD Skin. This was sent to me in PR in the shade 2N22. They sent several different shades, and I think this one is going to be the best match. So do you remember when the Makeup Forever HD was kind of like a gold standard for YouTube? It was kind of a key foundation that I felt like a lot of people thought you just had to have. I'm using a pump and just a teensy bit more, just because the pump isn't much. But like, it was right up there in the days of MAC being a really key important brand. I'm not saying MAC isn't an important brand. There was just a certain era when this stuff was hot, and now like it's coming back, and I do like that they've colored the caps the color of the actual foundation. That's cool. But I'm just going to use a beauty blender today and get this all blended in. I feel like Makeup Forever Ultra HD was never like the fullest of the full coverage, and for me personally it was never something that completely blew me away. I feel like this shade is a little dark, but we're going to be careful on the blending. But wow, does this have some competition when it comes to the like natural looking foundations, the skin-like foundations, you know? I mean, that Kosas Revealer really just makes my skin look fabulous. So what is this like in comparison? I would say it's kind of a similar texture to that, maybe just a little more liquidy. The skin does not feel quite as hydrated, I would say, as after the Kosas. Or you're just trying to make sure I get it really well blended, because it is just a tidbit dark, but I think the concealer is gonna make it all work out. Overall, a really natural finish. It's not too glowy, it's not too matte. I would say a semi-matte kind of finish, because I feel slightly mattified around the nose, but not completely blanked out, you know. A classic medium coverage. I can get up close, I can still see certain things, but as a whole, my skin tone feels evened out. I feel like it's kind of like Kosas Revealer, only offering a little less juice. Does anybody see where I'm coming from there? For concealer, I'm not sure that I've applied this on camera yet, the new Boing Bright On concealer from Benefit. I have it in the shade Lychee, and I think I was saying at one point that it reminds me quite a bit of the tone of like a Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Brightener. So I'm going to put some of that there, and I'm doing a little bit more than just my normal like tiny dot of concealer on the inner corner, just because I know this isn't quite the coverage level of some of the things I'm used to, but it is going to really brighten us up. Packaging's so cute. This is a little bit slimmer and taller than the normal concealer that Benefit makes. But I'm just using that same beauty blender. We're dabbing it in. See, it is brightening. I don't think it's any better than the Age Rewind Brightener though. I'm very familiar with that product, and I think it can do exactly what's happening here, and maybe even more. So yesterday at Belle's school, they have a spring picture day. And there's one coming up for Biddy, I guess. It's gonna be someday here in the near future. Sorry, I feel like stuff's collecting around my nostril. But did you ever have that as a kid? We just had one picture day every year. Now there's a spring picture day. I mean, am I forgetting something? But I don't think we had that. Okay, so here we are all blended in. You can see like I turn my head, I'm still got a little darkness in there. I'm going to add a dab more of something else that's more in a skin tone. I've been playing around, kind of rediscovering my Catrice True Skin. Really good concealer. I'm going to do a little dot like right there on each side. See if that does anything. Because the way I see it, you might take that benefit and use it in conjunction with something else, seeing as it's a brightening concealer. This is a little better. I tell you what, I used that Maybelline stick foundation the other day and I thought that looked darn good on camera. I was kind of surprised. So feeling better about the coverage now. So far, I feel like nothing I've put on my skin has been a real like, wow, must have. I'm gonna use something that's really fairly new to me. I did use it in my Kosas video, but the Cloud Set in Breezy. I'm gonna just grab a little bit of that with my small tapered brush, which, why can't e.l.f. Keep making this? Like, why in the world would they discontinue this brush? Like, I've still been linking below to wherever I can find it still being sold at a slightly less fair price, but it's still there, you know? You can find it linked on Walmart, but I'm just really annoyed by that. It's such a quality brush and there really aren't a ton of brushes like it. Come on, e.l.f. So I'm set. I set the under eye. I set my T-zone with that. And then, my friends, Physicians Formula. Do you remember when I used like this kind of a, I think it was called Let's Toast Champagne Highlight or something? I randomly got it from Ulta. Well, it turns out that was part of a whole bread and butter collection with like a couple of bronzers that look like bread, a little blush that has an unfortunate amount of overspray on it that had strawberries on it, and then there was that champagne highlight. But this is the bread and butter bronzer. This is the deeper of the two, called Toasty. Oh, it does smell really good. It doesn't smell like bread. What am I looking for? Fresh baked bread? A Paris cafe? I don't know. It smells to me like a soft cologne or something. A little bit fruity, a little bit outdoorsy kind of scent. It's good, it's pleasant. It's not as strong as butter bronzer, but here's the thing, guys, like this kicks up so much powder. Like you have to be so gentle going in and you will still have a lot of powder kicking up. Not into that. Like why? Why must it be that soft? Trying to get way up into my hairline here. Probably messing my hair up a little, but that's okay. It's a nice kind of medium tone, medium to light. And like I said, there's one even lighter than this. But I'm just like, I've got it sitting there on the table and I'm just dabbing in. You know what show my kids have gotten real into? Arthur. Arthur is a really good show, you guys. And it's actually pretty funny. You can get it on Amazon Prime and just start at square one. You know, they got into it when a few weeks ago PBS Kids, if you get the PBS Kids actual channel, they were doing an Arthur marathon. And it's a really funny show. And then if you look up Arthur on TikTok, there's some very funny stuff. But it's like, what are some of these creatures, you know? Like what? Arthur's an aardvark, but not with all aardvark qualities. And then we got like Muffy and Francine and I don't know. I like not being sure what creatures they are. I kind of have the same feelings toward Arthur as I feel toward the little critter books. It's like, I don't know exactly what you are, but I love you. Okay, I'm just getting that bronzer all blended in. I'm building it up a little bit. I find it hard to believe that this is the deep option, you know, but it is. Maybe should I double check? It's hard to control. I would not recommend it though. Like, get the Physicians Formula Butter Coffee Bronzer. That's an amazing satin finish bronzer. This is just like, there's so much like just loose powder being kicked up there. And it makes me feel like it was hard to put on or hard to like really manage it up here on the forehead. This is the one called Baked and it looks like it has more lightness like within. And this one seemed like the more deep one overall. It didn't have all this lightness in it. I don't know Physicians Formula. I'm having a hard time getting into this one. I'm going over my forehead with a little bit of my NYX No Filter powder just because I wasn't getting a real even vibe on that. What I went and did was I picked up 3 more shades of the Profusion Blush Hour blush because I loved this one so much. I think this is the premier liquid blush from the drugstore, and yeah, I got just several other shades. I'm going to be looking into what these are possibly dupes for. Definitely got my eye on my Rare Beauty blushes, and I'll see like how things match up. But you have to shake them up, and they have just a little dabber, and then you can blend them in from there. They're super easy to use. This is the shade called Rosé. So let's see what this looks like. Okay. A little bit light. This is probably the softest one that was there. What I like about it is that it's nice and thin and easy to blend, and it doesn't like wear away at your foundation, but it's still a liquid blush, you know, very liquidy. This one's really light. I like it. It's very soft and delicate. I can apply definitely a little more of it than the Mai Tai shade I was using the other day. I like it, but this shade is just really, really light. I think super fair skin might love it, but it's leaving me wanting a little bit more. Should we? This is the one called Cosmo. Shake it up real good. It's not quite as like red. Well, one tiny dot of that'll do ya. Rosy cheeked. Okay, they're so neat. I like them. That one is so much more intense, but I really like it. You just use sparingly. You know, the Mai Tai was kind of a nice one to start with. That's the one that hooked me, and it was very peachy looking. You can see it going on in the last video. It did basically what I would expect, and now I've experimented with sort of the lightest and deepest ends of the spectrum as well, and I like them. Moving on with my highlight, I'm continuing to just love this Lumi Glow Nude palette in Moon Kissed. Nothing brand new, but really so much better than you think it's going to be when you touch the powders. I'm just using that white, and look how it pops. Oh, so fun. No big sparkle or shimmer in it, it just glows. This is for the people who like kind of subtle, soft, pearlescent highlights, but still a lot of brightening. I'm just thrilled with it, y'all. I always like the way I come away looking after I put this stuff on. These have been my main two, these top two. This is a little deeper. This I've used as like an eyeshadow crease shade. This is really just as good as these two up top as well, just a slightly different tone, but gosh, it's so pretty. I feel like maybe I should have done some bronzer down in here a little bit more. I'm gonna just do some Reserve Your Cabana from Wet n Wild. I just think that'll be faster. That Physicians Formula one is so fussy. And then I got a couple of mists sent my way by LA Girl. We have a pineapple and a dragon fruit, and they both smell really good. They both look like body sprays, so I really had to look first. I was like, is this for the face? It says to shake it well, even though it doesn't appear that there's anything like separating in it. And yeah, spray 12 to 16 inches away from face. We're gonna do the pineapple. I mean, I think a good pineapple scent is hard to beat. Now that I'm over this cold, I can really smell it. It smells really good, very refreshing. What's it doing for my skin? I think it's making it look a little more hydrated, not like insanely dewy, because I don't tend to apply that much of a setting mist. But let's do a mist of the dragon fruit and try to really settle in on what we like better here. Right. I feel like I maybe actually like the dragon fruit scent just a little bit better. It's something fruity, but then there's this little like kind of outdoorsiness that's hard to put your finger on that I'm also smelling, their freshness. But yeah, we're definitely misted now. For my brows, you know, I don't have anything brand new. I did find a Brow Wiz in dark brown when I was decluttering here a few weeks ago, so I think I'll use that. Why not? So does anybody have any like St. Patrick's Day traditions? I really don't. Great story, Em. I do have some Irish in my heritage, you know, what makes up my genealogy or whatever. I just remember in college it used to be like a huge party night. Now it's like, okay, I'll get up and wear green, that's fine. Girls have dentist appointments today, so that's the main activity outside of school. And then cheerleading tonight. That's been going really well. They've been having so much fun, and it's just been fun to watch them like pick up some new skills. It's a big confidence builder, you know? All right, so I've got that all up in my brows. I think I'll put on a little bit of gel. I don't really want a lot more color, so I'm just gonna use my NYX Control Freak today. I need to control freak some of these hairs up here is what I need to do. Now for my eyes, I'm going to use some Milani eyeshadow primer, of course, and I'm not quite sure what direction I want to go actually with my eyeshadow. I got a couple things, couple options here. Again, not many new palettes. I feel like palettes are being kind of slow to come out these days. It's not like I'm clamoring for a new palette, not like I need a new palette. I'm just noting that I feel like there aren't as many. Now, I was sent in PR some of these Superhero No Tug eyeshadow sticks from IT Cosmetics. Just kind of a random assortment of shades. And I'm wondering what I'll be able to use to really create the look. Because it doesn't look like there's a lot of darkness in this range, except for maybe Fearless Umber and Tenacious Tawny. But I don't have either of those two. I do have this Tough Tan shade. So I'm going to use a couple of these and we'll just see what we can create. And if we need to pull in something else to make the look feel more finished, we can. But I'm going to use this shade called Tough Tan. And it feels like kind of like they've put just a teensy bit of sparkle in it. But overall, it seems like more of a matte finish, okay? And they say these are no tug, supposedly very user-friendly and easy. So I'll just put it on and then I dab over the top and make sure there's not too much excess there. Okay, so there's Tough Tan. Tough Tan might amount to like a kind of a transition sort of color. It's just not very dark. It doesn't do much for your crease. I'm not really against it. I wish I had something a little darker in this range to create more of a look. I did do some hand swatch kind of testing and I felt like they stayed pretty well. I'm just kind of wondering why. This is a matte stick, but they've thrown in this micro shimmer that's giving it a little bit of sparkle. I'm not sure if you can see that on my lids at all. It's kind of strange. And then I pulled out this shade called Silk Armor, and this does have some shimmer. I thought, well, maybe that could go like on the inner corner or maybe dabbed on the center of the lid. Center of the lid, I've got a little more sheen. I don't know if you can tell. Okay, so there's my two sticks creating what look I could here. It's very, very light. I'm gonna pull in a Laura Mercier Caviar stick. This is in the shade called Khaki. All right, and I'm gonna use a little bit of that kind of in the outer corner here. And just, you know, give this look the depth and contrast it needs, just a little bit. Just blending that with my finger a little bit. Again, it's just a few dabs. This is just a dark, actual shimmer shade. I'm going to use that on the lower lash line. I feel like it's a perfect tone for smudgy, smoky liner. Yeah, that's where I'm liking that best. And guys, this is really what I've been wanting to do on the lower lash line, is a shadow stick that sets, because I feel like powder just kind of moves around throughout the day and can create kind of a smudgy raccoonish type deal. Whereas these shadow sticks really kind of stay where you put them if you're using the right ones. So I got Khaki down there. I got a little Khaki in the outer corner. I'm really not like wowed and amazed by what's happening here. So I'm just going to use a little bit of the Identity palette and I'm going to go into Maverick right here, this cool kind of medium brown. And you know, this is what I kind of thought going in I might need to do, was just adjust for what the shadow sticks weren't really doing. You know, I just want the look to feel a bit more complete. And I think the IT Cosmetics ones are going to be fine in terms of staying power. It's just I didn't have a real good wardrobe of shades. I had a couple of like goldeny bronze ones too, but they weren't very dark. All the things would be fine all over the lid, but if you want to really start to create some contrast and create a full look, can't quite exhibit that with what was sent. Okay, so that's just with the addition of Maverick, and then maybe we'll do one more shade from this. I'm going to get just a little bit of Goddess on my brush. So this is a shimmery bronze, and just kind of let that come up. Oh, that's so pretty like that. That richens things up a bit, does it not? Richens. And I think we do need a little highlight, taking some Humble right under the brow. I think that's going to do it for the eyeshadow look today, but you know, I'm not trying to seem ungrateful, as though like I was sent these shadow sticks for free in PR, so that's great and I really appreciate the opportunity to try them. I'm just saying, like, it's hard for me to really generate a full look using exclusively these the way I'd like to do the look when I don't have anything dark enough. And I may purchase one of the darker shades to fully, you know, get some closure on this subject, okay? Couple of things here from Bare Minerals. They have a new Maximist liquid eyeliner. Isn't liquid eyeliner pretty new for Bare Minerals? And a Maximist mascara. So this will be my first time using these today. So I'm shaking that up. Okay, what kind of applicator do we have here? It's a brush tip. I mean, they went for eyeliner and it couldn't have been a more old school design. And that doesn't bother me. But I'm going to take it across the upper lash line and we'll see how she does. Super black, not having any trouble going across the shimmer and whatnot. Okay, fully opaque black liner. We do know that we can use Milani 17 Hour liquid eyeliner and it'd be in great shape for a number of days if we needed to. So I'm not saying you need to shell out any more money for a liquid liner. I'm just saying this seems to be applying well and I don't even know about the staying power yet. Okay, so I just followed my natural lash line there, nothing crazy. And then our mascara brush, ooh, it's big. It's real big and fluffy, and it seems like, how would I explain this? It's gonna be really hard to show it, but picture this as being the head of a human being, the tip of this brush. It's got hair going from ear to ear, and then it's got a little goatee coming down. And it's got bare here and bare right here. Interesting design. You gotta try really hard to explain things that are hard to show. It's just like it had some coming down, like just a little tuft of stuff coming down the brush here, and then a bare spot and a bare spot. I wonder how this is gonna go. And the brush seems huge, which sometimes I find those brushes annoying, but we'll see. I've been on a mascara roll lately. I really have. Things have been working out. Let's go. I think those bare spots are meant to let a little product load on. I find this interesting. It's like this Maximus line. Like normally Bare Minerals just seems more minimal makeup, but they're really going for a statement making eye. Doesn't it seem that way? It thickened the lashes up pretty quick. Just given the size of the brush, you do have to be careful. They're very black. It's kind of sticking some of them together. Some of this also can be the newness of a mascara. You know, there's a lot of goop on the wand. It can be hard to just get all the definition you want. So far it ain't doing Mac Stack things, but probably doing more for me than any other Bare Minerals mascara that I've used. So there's that. Oh, this is sticking them together so much over on this side. I have like a freaking tuft. Oh, I look like I got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lashes on this side, just given the way it's sticking them. Getting a little bit better. It's not love at first sight for this one for me, but I'm not saying it couldn't get better. I actually think it has potential given the fact that I think the formula wants to build. I think it needs to get a little bit used up first. You know what I mean? We need just a little less product on that brush because it's kind of overwhelming my lashes a little. I actually think I'm going to put on a false lash for a little extra glam, and I will be right back. Okay, check out the lashes. I really like these. They fit my eyes really well. They're one of the styles out of my Kiss So Wispy Curated collection. I want to say they are the 11s, but I'm not positive on that. Either way, get you that box of lashes. They are so good. On the lips, something new from the Makeup by Mario line. It's the Ultra Suede Cozy Lip Cream in the shade Pinky Brown. This line of lip products seems to only contain like these really neutral kind of nude type of shades. So I thought I would put this on with this look. It goes on like it's so opaque, so your lips really feel hidden by this. And it does kind of stay creamy, but not in a greasy, moving around kind of creamy way. It's just there is some moisture that remains on your lips. It doesn't completely like dry down. This is not my first time using this. Smell is very pleasant. Smells like something kind of baked. A little sweet. I don't do a lot of nude lips. I'm always taking what I've got and like darkening it up a little bit or turning it berry or turning it brick red or something, but I'm gonna let this stay its pure self. Do I see a lot of pink in it? It's called Pinky Brown. Not really, it just seems like a cool medium nude to me. I like that it's not too grayish, but it definitely is on the cool side, wouldn't you say? It makes the lips look really good. My lips weren't perfect putting this on. Like, I definitely noticed some dryness, especially on my upper lip area. And somehow it's like that wasn't an issue for this. It just kind of filled things in because it has a thickness to it, okay? You feel a thickness going on. It's not like those thin liquid lipsticks. Like, it would be the exact opposite texture of Maybelline Superstay ink, okay? That stuff is thin, 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 and it completely sets. This doesn't totally set and feels thicker. So yeah, it feels like a little different look for me, you know? When I finish my look with this lip, it gives me a totally different vibe for the makeup, but this will be good for me today because when we go to the dentist, you know, have the masks on and stuff, I won't be worried about this transferring away. But high points of this look, the liquid blush, this is an awesome discovery, even though that first shade that I put on today, the one called Rosé, was a little bit soft. Like, I mean, look how natural this ended up being, this shade called Cosmo, so I loved that. I've really been loving my L'Oreal Lumi Glow Nude palette. I felt like my coverage products today were okay, like getting the job done, but not the most memorable, remarkable, wonderful things ever. Like, I wouldn't say, oh my gosh, you must buy this over the Kosas, or you must buy this over LYS. It did well for me. I'll probably continue to use it now and then, but it's a natural looking medium coverage foundation and it's fine. Okay, it's just fine. I'm trying to think of my third sort of standout here. I would say it's either this. I do like this product and this texture on the Makeup by Mario stuff on the lips. I wasn't super wowed by the IT Cosmetics crayons, although that could change, you know, as time goes on. If I try one of the deeper colors, it might do a little more for me. It might make me a little more confident that they can create a nice completed look. But isn't it funny how you can only really feel strongly about a few things, but yet your look can still come together, you know? Everything did play its part to an extent, did it not? Probably got a few little flyaways to paste down to really finish the look, but I hope you guys had fun and enjoyed this little try-on session. Thank you so much for your kind comments, for making me part of your routine in watching these videos on the weekend or whenever you find time to squeeze them in. I really do appreciate it, and I will talk to you again very soon. I love you. Bye.